Hello there, my name is Andrew, and I am an audiophile. Ooh. Don't worry, I had the same reaction you just did when I found out. In today's video, we're going to take a look at a number of the posts, impressions, hot takes, things to weigh in on, things to judge that we get from Reddit, particularly the last month. And for this, all of these have been compiled by listener and put into 3 different categories. So number 1 is takes for me to agree or disagree with. Number 2, memes and sadness. And number 3, questions for you to give an answer to. And I don't actually know what any of these say, so who knows? Maybe yours will be featured, maybe you will get roasted in this video. You'll just have to watch to find out. All right, let's get going. As always, these videos are made possible by headphones.com. There are all kinds of benefits to using headphones.com. They've tried to make it kind of like a resource for the community by providing, things like 365-day returns, sponsoring this channel, and also providing us a platform for all of our written reviews and educational articles, deep dives, all of that stuff. So check out headphones.com the next time you're in the market for a new pair of headphones or audio equipment. Okay, let's get going here and see what we've got. Let's see what listener has put together for us to react to. All right, here we are on Reddit, and as you can see, I've accrued some karma over the years. I got my karma. I know how this works, I think. Okay, the first one here is IEMs for gaming. Let's be real. So this post comes from Zero Stress Level, something I don't have, like ever. And they say, I haven't been here for that long and only posted my unboxing experience, but seeing the staggering amount of people specifically looking for gaming IEMs is high-key crazy. Any IEM that doesn't sound like it's going through a tin can will work. Also, IEMs that do sound like they're going through a tin can will also work. And of course, there's going to be better and worse here, like you're the one using the product, but like there are professional players who use absolutely terrible products for gaming. So this is effectively a post calling out all of the sort of false assumptions that people have about getting a product for gaming, headphones for gaming, IEMs for gaming, and citing the fact that professionals, people who are highly competitive, use all kinds of different gear, and oftentimes much of it isn't even very good. And this is true. So my perspective on this is that a good pair of headphones will not give you skill. I'd say probably what matters more is, comfort and good channel matching and that sort of thing. But with that in mind, you are not these professional players, and there are tangible benefits to being able to hear footsteps more clearly. Say, for example, you're playing Counter-Strike 2 and you have a headphone that in the footstep band isn't particularly loud. Well, that would be worse than if you had a headphone that was elevated in that region, right? But how much that matters is really down to you. And the other side of this is that if you are playing video games a lot, you're maybe sat at a computer at a desk and you are wearing headphones for long periods of the day, may as well make it something nice. But yeah, this is a post that I generally agree with, and yeah, Soundstage is a bit of a meme. All right, this one is from Dylondark. I don't know how to, maybe I'm saying that incorrectly. I feel like treble enjoyers are underrepresented here, and this is a meme of some kind. The person who loves treble is being bullied, essentially. So yeah, I think there's definitely a trend for warmer sound signatures, people thinking that they like warm sound signatures. Interestingly, when you look at the data from the preference research, that's actually not the case. So treble enjoyers can rest easy knowing that there's actually a lot more of you guys out there than people realize. The one thing I'll say here is that you can have headphones that have more treble or are more treble focused that are both good and bad. And looking at the ones that this person has listed here, some of those are good, but some of them are not. All right, this one is from... Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have started this video by reading people's names. I bought headphones I knew I wasn't going to enjoy. And this person purchased Sony MV1s. All right. And they say, that's a nice picture, by the way. Handsome fellow. And they say, yes, that's right. I bought the Sony MDR MV1 knowing that they are too bright for my taste and that I'd find them sibilant. Why? Comfort and weight. Yes. Respect. And the beautiful thing that is EQ. Yes. Oh, you're winning at life. All right, so this post just needs some sort of award. We focus so much on sound quality. Like, I am so guilty of this. Sound quality is like the most scrutinized thing because it's one of the most interesting things to talk about. But getting a headphone as a platform where you've prioritized the things that you can't change about it and made sure that those things are great, like the comfort and the build, That is the way to do this, in my opinion. So great job. And actually, I do want to give a quick shout out to r/headphones. For the most part, there's actually a lot of really good information there. So I encourage folks to check that out. You guys are doing a good job. Okay, next one. The majority of IEM shells and their size are completely ridiculous. All right, so this is mostly a rant against the size of IEM shells and nozzles, particularly citing the Blessing 3 and the Hexa. And there are good examples here of IEMs that don't have these problems with ergonomics. The Sennheiser IE series is one that I would also, strongly recommend for anybody with small ears. Solid post. All right, moving on. Straight plug or 90-degree plug? Straight plug. For no other reason than vibes. All right, on to the next category here. Memes/sadness. This is where I live. Jesus Christ. Okay, this post, there's a lot here. From, I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. Caricaturing all the major IEM communities, meant in good spirits. And then it's full of memes. There's just like so much on this page. All right, so this is Headphone on the right. Yeah, that's accurate. Cathedral soundstage. All right, so we get the Reddit crowd on the one side, and then we get the Headphone crowd on the other, and they are very different. And yeah, I've noticed this as well. While you do get some gamer meme stuff on Reddit as well, I would say that it is usually a little bit more sensible, but also that's where the poors exist. Whereas on Headphone, it's like, people cable memeing and all this kind of stuff. Then we got on the bottom left, there is ASR, I think. Yeah, ASR. Praying to the Harmon targets. Haven't had time to listen to it yet. Yeah. And then we have, what is this? YouTube. Okay, speedrun tier list. Best new IEM under $200. Criminally underrated. Yeah, everything is basically like a hype train. Yeah, this is a good post. I think this accurately captures the various different communities. I don't think it's just to do with IEMs, but you are obviously into IEMs and you've noticed this. I think you're right. The unfortunate thing about this is like, this is a categorization that like I almost feel like reinforces some of the problems that exist in the community where so much of the disconnect lives. This sort of like community siloing where people are gatekeeping for various different reasons, whether it's to do with, audio knowledge or price point or, measurement equipment. That's generally bad. But yeah, this is a good post. It's fun. Let's move on. All right, I keep spending money on it and still can't notice the soundstage you guys are talking about. Oh, listener, I know why you picked this topic. Yeah, okay, so there is a lot to do with the question of soundstage. I'm going to leave an article in the description for folks who are interested in actually learning about this and what this is. And I'll be the first to say that, yeah, there is such a thing as a spaciousness effect, but it is not something like I'm of the opinion that this is not worth chasing because it necessarily comes at the cost of hits to timbre. Like if you like soundstage or that spaciousness effect and you want to get that at all costs, great. If that's your favorite thing about audio, awesome. But as someone who's kind of gone through that process and come out the other side, eventually, that novelty wears off. Well, I'd say it actually wears off fairly quickly once you've experienced it. So yeah, I think it is time for the audio hobby to collectively move on from the concept of soundstage. People won't. People are going to get mad at me for saying that. All right, so this is a meme about buying an IEM for comfort and sound quality versus buying an IEM because it looks cool and comes with an anime girl. Yeah, y'all need help. All right, next one. What were you up to this weekend? Listen to music. All right, so this person is saying that their hobby is listening to music. It's the main thing that they do. Listener, is this you? These days, most folks use music as kind of like a background thing while they're doing the dishes, while they're playing video games, whatever, and that's fine too. But what I like about this, and I regularly do this kind of stuff too, is this creates a better way to actively engage with the music. Listening to music is one of the richest conscious experiences that humans can have. And so if that's your thing, awesome. All right, now it is time for questions that I am meant to answer. What was your first audiophile setup versus what are you using now? So I think for me, I'd have to bracket it to when I first got the HiFiMan HE500 and bought a sound card that had a headphone amplifier on it. It was the Asus Zonar Essence STX. And that combination, I would say, would be my first, real audiophile setup. I think if you're the kind of person who, you know, has to really consider the power requirements of your headphones, then I guess that counts as an audiophile setup, right? Rather than just headphones that you bought. So that would be it for me. And what am I using now? All kinds of things. Too many things. Well, you can see some of it behind me. As far as the amplifier and DAC setup that I have, I use the Matrix X-Saver Pro and the Vioelectric HPA V550, though I think there's a new one of that out that I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. But yeah, it's been fine for me. And headphones, yeah, I like the HD600, but I also like stuff like the Susvara that's behind me somewhere. The Cosmo is great. None of it is mine, but that's what I use. All right, would you ever buy a headphone without being able to try it? Yes. All right, so there's a lot in this post, but one of the deeper questions is, how much should I trust the reviewer's impressions? So I think it kind of depends on the track record of the reviewer and the way that they go about doing their evaluations. If it is somebody just giving you vibes, like subjective stuff only, and you're going to make a, you know, multi-$1,000 blind buy, yeah, I would really caution you about that. So if you watch some of their other videos and they show that they are willing to be critical of something, then I think you have a pretty good sense of, you know, the reliability of those impressions. But I would still caution you about making multi-$1,000 purchases on headphones without getting a chance to try them. See if you can go to an audio show or something like that. But also do your best to try and understand how your preferences align with how things measure. See if you can find measurements of headphones that you've heard or that you own, because that gives you a nice anchor point. And this person has the Meze 109 Pro, and they've got the 6XX, so they've got, there's measurements out about that, so you should be able to get a sense of how, you know, something else might sound relative to that by making those comparisons. What's your Enjoy Life headphone? Well, enjoying life is something that I'm still trying to figure out. Well, I'll let you know when I get there. These are nice photos. That's really cool. This is a Sennheiser HD560S being held up with a nice, I think that's a sunset or a sunrise. It's very nice. I take the spirit of this question to be like, what's your stop caring about the hobby? You know, headphones. It's just stuff that you're like, yeah, I like this. I'm going to move on. I'm just going to live my life. God damn it. That's stuff like the Sennheiser HD600 or 6XX or whatever, right? Or the new HD550 from Sennheiser is great for that. Also the FIO FT1, it's actually usually the stuff that is a little bit more affordable. For more high-end stuff, like if I'm using a closed back, the Azuris is fine for that. And I think maybe a theme for that is that these are reasonable all-rounders that are good for all genres of music or whatever situation, and ones that I would genuinely recommend. But that does it for this video. There were definitely some fun ones in there, some spicy ones. Make sure you guys let me know in the comments below what community or forum you'd like us to react to next. This could get interesting. If you found any of this interesting, make sure you leave a comment below, or you can join us on our forum at forum.headphones.com, or you can chat with us in our Discord, also linked below. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.